Take the first step. Go to proactive.com now.
I grew up a diehard Laker fan.
Tonight, we celebrate the kid that came here at 18 years of age.
And to spend 20 years here, I mean, you can't write something better than this.
Retired at 38 and became probably the best dad that we've seen over the last 3 years, man.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart. God, I love you guys.
To continue his legacy, not only for this year, but as long as we can play the game of basketball that we love, because that's what Kobe Bryant will want.
What can I say? Mamba out.
But in the words of us, not forgotten. Live on, brother.
Monday, workers at Xbox Plaza across from Staples Center began breaking down the memorial to Kobe Bryant that continued to grow throughout the last week. They boxed up more than 1,300 basketballs signed and dedicated to Bryant and his daughter, Gianna. LeBron James talked about the effect on the current Lakers.
Every game going to be emotional. You're going to look up in the rafters, you're going to see that 8, that 24, you're going to see the decal on the floor. Every game is going to be emotional. But, obviously, time heals all. It's going to continue to help us every game, every day. Continue to lean on each other, lean on our crowd going to lean on us. And, we got to continue to push forward because that's what he wants us to do.
I'm sure you've seen the pictures, the number of items staggering at that memorial. Staples Center President Lee Zeidman tweeted the details. We mentioned the 1,300 basketballs, 14 banners that had a total length of 520 feet, 25,000 candles, 5,000 signs, letters, and flags, more than 500 stuffed animals, and more than 350 pairs of shoes. Some of the items will be delivered to Bryant's widow, Vanessa, at her request. It talks around to D'Angelo Russell, but he sat out with a bruised right quadricep. Check this out, Warriors fans. Steph Curry getting some shots up pregame. Third quarter, Warriors are up 14. Alec Burks, he had 30. It's a 17-point lead for Golden State. Fourth quarter, 7:50 on the clock. It's a 15-point lead now. Here comes Bradley Beal. 3 for 7 from 3. Steph Curry's coming out either to cheer his team on or to watch the Beal show. The Beal show was worth watching. Shot 15 of 30 from the floor. Brought the Wizards within 5. 2:17 on the clock now. It's back up to 9. Beal still doing things. 43 points for him. 7 consecutive 30-plus games. No Wizard has done that since Earl Monroe in 1968. Glenn Robinson III. Lil Dog. He had 22. Warriors win it 125-117. That's 2 in a row for them on the road.
Long distance information. Give me Memphis, Tennessee. Ja Morant and the Grizzlies holding on to that 8th spot in the West. Detroit with more work to move into the East. Top 8. First quarter, Morant to Jaren Jackson. Andre Drummond, get out of the way. Oh, I told you. Nobody ever listens.
These Grizzlies don't care, man.
No, Jackson, he had 14. The game was tied at half. Let's go to the third quarter because they played 4 quarters. Morant. Fred Bear. Walk with me through the trails again. The finger roll, the elevation over Drummond. Grizz are up 9. We go to the fourth quarter. It follows the third. More Morant. Who's your favorite Jonas brother? Jonas Valanciunas is the answer we're looking for. He 26 points, 17 rebounds going against Detroit, who, of course, is coached by Dwayne Casey, who was his former coach when they were in Toronto. Morant finished the game with 12 points, 7 assists. The Grizz are going to win it 96-82. Morant closes out the highlight. Dylan Brooks with 15, and this swish afterwards.
Andre Iguodala's a great player. I feel like he's doing the right thing for his career, but we don't really care.
It's certainly not a distraction.
No, it's not a distraction at all. I laugh at that type of stuff. A guy that's on our team doesn't want to be on our team. I can't wait till we find a way to trade him so we can play him, and I can just show him what really Memphis is about.
All right, so Andre Iguodala on the Grizzlies for now, hasn't played at all this season, has threatened to sit out the rest of the season if the Grizzlies don't trade him. Let's bring in Adrian Wojnarowski. Now, Adrian, what's going on with the potential trade?
Well, Memphis continues, Stan, to talk to teams in both conferences about an Andre Iguodala trade. They've been confident, they remain confident that they will find a deal before Thursday's deadline at 3 p.m. They'd like to essentially get back, some kind of a draft asset, whether that's a couple second-round picks, maybe a protected first-round pick. But there's interest in Iguodala around the league. A lot of contenders, most of the contenders, have kicked the tires on it, and Memphis remains confident that they're going to find a deal.
Rockets have gone small the last few games with Clint Capella out with an injury. They'd like a big haul in return if they trade him. What are you hearing about Capella?
Well, Houston has been engaged all over the league, but Atlanta, Boston, both teams who, have an interest and need to upgrade at center. What Houston would like to do is move Clint Capella, get a return, a first-round pick, maybe even more if there's another second-round pick, whatever would be involved, that they could then flip on perhaps to Minnesota for Robert Covington. They've talked with Memphis on Iguodala, and they would like to come out of trade deadline with another wing player and maybe just a backup center, someone who could come in and eat up some minutes for them. But Houston seems ready to part with Capella to improve themselves at the wing. They think that's their ticket in the playoffs to try to be more competitive with the two LA teams.
All right, I'm sure we'll be talking again relatively soon with the deadline coming up on Thursday. Thanks, Woj.
Thanks, Stan. Appreciate it.
The dog didn't win.
In Indy, Victor Oladipo still trying to find his footing since his return last week from that knee injury. He struggled 4 for 17, 1 for 10 from 3. Kristaps Porzingis, no such problems. Coming off a 35-12 rebound game on Friday, Porzingis knocking down threes in this one. Tim Hardaway Jr. behind the back, that's fancy. Mavs only had 20 assists. Hardaway Jr. had 5 of them. Just keep giving it to Porzingis. His 4th triple. And then next Mavs possession, how about 5? 19 points in the first half, 5 for 7 from deep. Most points in the first half for Porzingis all season. Mavs still down by 2 at the half, though. Third quarter. We need more Porzingis. So do the Mavs. Able to create some space away from the trouble. 10 of 20 from the floor. Mavs back down 2. Porzingis another 3. His 6th of the game. Mavs up 4. Porzingis going to finish with 38 and 12. Joins Dirk Nowitzki and Luka Doncic as the only Mavs players with consecutive 35-10 games as the Mavs win it by 9. So Porzingis goes off without Doncic again. In 6 games without Doncic, Porzingis averaging 27 points per game compared to 16 per game when Doncic is active. Again, Porzingis 38 points, Monday tied for the second most in a game in his career. Celtics in Atlanta Monday take on the Hawks. Atlanta had just 9 healthy players. Celtics without Kemba Walker and Marcus Smart. For a while, it looked like all Atlanta needed was Trae Young, fielding it from way out there. That's 33 feet. What's longer than that? How about 34 feet? His foot's on the logo, 4 for 11 from three-point range. Here's another one from the same spot. 17 in the first quarter, 34 for the game. Did have 9 turnovers. Atlanta also got 22 from John Collins. So Hawks head forward Damian Jones draw the Celtics logo and use it on the video board instead of the Celtics regular logo. So Jason Tatum playing in the third quarter under the new logo. Tatum, 5 for 9 from three-point range. Kemba Walker digging the logo and Tatum's 3. Later, Celtics up 10. Tatum. Later in the third, Tatum still hot. Working on Treveon Graham, and he got him 10 for 20 from the floor. Tatum 15 points in the third, 28 for the game. Now, late in the fourth, Celtics up 4, Grant Williams. 13 off the bench for him, and the Celtics win at 123-115. Celtics back in action Wednesday night, first game of our NBA doubleheader when they host the Magic. Then we had the Staples Center for the Heat and the Clippers. That'll be fun. Coverage begins with Stephen A. Smith and his pregame Sports Center at 7